Hey guys, so this is just going to be a nice little quick video today. I'm not really planning anything big about this, but you may notice I've got a Japanese Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong Racing, and that's what the back looks like. And I've got an American Madden Football 64. That's what that back looks like. If you notice, it's got notches in two different places. This is how Nintendo did region locking for the NTSC versions of the N64. So you might be looking at this wondering, well, what does this matter? Why are you showing me this? Well, I want to play Diddy Kong 64, and I don't give a shit about Madden 64. So I'm going to swap the backs. So that way this will work in my unmodified North American Nintendo 64. Yes, I know you can remove tabs, and they make little plastic inserts that go where the cartridge tray is that'll make it universal, but I'd have to open the N64 again, and frankly, if I can avoid doing that, I want to. The N64 is a very fiddly thing to take apart. I find it much easier to just take apart the cartridges. At least I remember it being fiddly. It might not be as fiddly as I think it is. It could just be that I did it a long time ago, and it seemed fiddly at the time, and so it's kind of tainting my memories to think it's more fiddly than it actually is. Who knows? For all I know, it's the easiest console in the world to take apart. Because it's been quite a while since I've done it. Like, many, many years since I've done it. So, but none of that really matters. You just want to see me take apart a cartridge. I'm not sure if Diddy Kong Racing here uses a save battery. If it does, I'm going to replace the save battery with like a, what do you call that? Like a little holder, so I can just slip a regular CR2032 in there for easy save battery updates. I'm suspecting it doesn't. Most N64 games don't. The only one that I've had to replace so far that way has been Smash Brothers. The original Smash Brothers. Because again, I got a Japanese one, and surprise, surprise, it had that. So let's just start with Madden here. If you've never seen what an N64 cartridge looks like on the inside, prepare to get your mind blown. Because I know my mind was blown a little bit when I did this. And I have this bottom shell of a very chewed up NES game, and I can hold the screws in. This one I actually got in a lot with a bunch of other NES and Genesis games in exchange for a $25 Target gift card outside of a GameStop one time, because the GameStop employees did not want to give the guy any money for it. So he's like, "You got money?" And I'm like, "I got like a $25 Target gift card." He said, "Good enough." And so I got all of his games. And yep, see, it's actually screwed in here too. So I have to also pull out my handy dandy screwdriver and take these screws out. Now, I've never actually played Madden 64 before. I don't usually play a lot of sports games, especially not Madden, because I find the Madden series to be a bit underwhelming, I guess would be the polite way to put it. Especially compared to something like Tecmo Bowl, like Super Tecmo Bowl. Oh, wow. Oh, look at that. That is a basic-ass cartridge right there. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Seriously, this is such a simple cartridge. It's unbelievable. Look at this. All right, so focus. Focus. Can I get you to focus? No, you don't feel like it? Fine. Okay. Well, I'll have to try and point everything out from afar. This bigger chip here, that is your mask ROM. That is where the game lives. That is your lockout chip. That's it. That's the entirety of this cartridge right here, is just these two things. Wow. So there's no save. How does a season game work then? Because, I mean, like, even Tecmo Super Bowl had a save feature where you could, like, you know, save a season game and continue it later. That's really weird. Alright, so we don't really care about the front half. What we care about is this. So I'm going to put that over here and take apart Diddy Kong. But wow, yeah. Remember how I said I find Madden games to be a bit underwhelming? Stuff like that is why. Like, why is there no save? Seriously, in like a football game where you can play a full season, why is there no save feature? Why? Why is there no save? That's literally just wrong. There's nothing to record on that at all. I don't understand why. I'm gonna guess it's EA. EA being EA. EA likes to cheap out on things when they can. Something I didn't know when I was a kid, and I loved The Sims and thought they could do no wrong because they made The Sims, but the older I get, the more cynical I get, and the more used to this kind of crap I get. Oh, I really don't have to take this half out. If I just wanted to swap on the back, I'd be done here. But like I said, I'm not sure if this uses some kind of save battery, so I want to double check that. Ah, okay. Nope, it doesn't. But you can see this one's a little more complicated. You got your mask ROM, you got your CIC, and this is probably some kind of flash memory. I'm not exactly sure what that is right there. In fact, I could probably just Google that real quick and find out. Let me see. What is the label on that? That is a BU9 850. Okay. BU9 850. Let's see what it is. Google says it's a 4 kilobyte save chip. So yep, this is a little bit of most likely flash memory. Yeah. Oh, it's an EEPROM, actually. I'm sorry. I am mistaken. Yeah, that is an EEPROM. Cool. So it actually saves to an EEPROM. That's pretty good. That means the save file should be nice and safe on there. We just put the shielding back on. And you don't need the shielding to play, like to run the game or anything, but I feel better having it there versus not. Oh, I'll probably take some high-res photos and splice them in at the appropriate places since this camera doesn't want to focus on it for whatever reason. Okay, sorry about that. I got so used to my other phone that I forgot that the S7 actually has a physical home button. It's so weird. It is so weird trying to get used to having a physical home button again after being used to a software one. Ooh. Alright, well, yeah, I guess calling it a software one is appropriate. It is just a touch button. So, speaking of button, let's button these shells back up. And you can see they actually do use different part numbers on the insides of the shell, which is kind of interesting. Although the shielding is pretty different between the... No, actually, it's about the same. Alright. It's weird that they use a different part number. Maybe it's just because they were manufactured in different regions? Who knows? Who knows? Nintendo does what Nintendo wants. And we can't really stop them. But hey, not too bad, I guess. And the other thing is, this copy of Madden 64 was like $3, so I don't feel too bad about, you know, buying a second game just for the back. I would probably get reproduction shells if they were a reasonable price. But for whatever reason, people want to charge like $15 for a reproduction N64 shell, and frankly, no. No thank you. I'm not going to pay that much for a lower quality plastic shell. I kind of had to with these NES games, because I actually rebuilt them after the dog had destroyed them, and I even had to buy reproduction labels. Oh, it was a whole production, man, let me tell you. So there we go. As you can see, the North American back fits just fine on Japanese Diddy Kong, and the Japanese back fits just fine on North American Madden 64. So yeah, very simple operation. Only takes a few minutes, and I think it's totally worth it. Unless you really plan on diving into doing a lot of imports, but for me, I just kind of do onesie twosies. Like, I think I have a total of 3 or 4 import games, so I really could care less about having to do this every once in a while. Because while I do love the N64, I have an EverDrive for it, so I mostly just use that instead of, importing a lot of Japanese games. I'll import a Japanese game if it's like a game that I actually want to really have on cartridge for some reason. Like with Diddy Kong 64, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he kept hyping it up, so I was like, okay, I think I'll get it and give it a shot. Because I played it long time ago, but, it's been years since I've touched it, and I barely remember a thing about it, outside of what I've seen on, YouTube videos. And perfect. Just like that. Boom. North American compliant Diddy Kong 64. Japanese compliant Madden 64. So now your question is probably going to be, well, what are you going to do with Madden? How's that going to be useful to anybody? And you know what I did with one of these last time? I donated it to Goodwill. Somebody would probably buy it for that weird curiosity. They'll think it's an import copy or something. So basically, I just troll people with these. Maybe I'll leave it... Ooh, you know what? Connor and I were actually thinking, because we have a ton of Korean cards that we're never going to use and are, like, worthless. So we're thinking we're going to put, like, packs of 50 or whatever of them into, what are those called? Geocaches. So maybe I'll put this in a geocache. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. Somebody goes hiking, they find an N64 game. Like, what? Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, I think I might do that. Cool. All right. So, like I said, just a quick little video showing... Again, it's not really supposed to be a tutorial, but, what the heck. It's fun, right? So, tune in next time for longer videos and more cool technical stuff. See you later.